In the beginning, there was nothing. A void of hunger. A silent kitchen waiting for the spark of ignition. And then, the water boiled. It is the primordial soup from which we all ascend. The chaotic bubbling of potential. We look into the pot and see not just dinner, but destiny. We see the starch of the universe expanding, softening, becoming palatable. Breathe in the steam, my friends. That is the humidity of holiness. Hello, travelers of the carbohydrate cosmos. Welcome back to Touched by His Noodly Appendage. I am your guide through the al dente mysteries of existence. Today, we are not discussing the beer volcano, nor are we charting the moral implications of the stripper factory. No. Today we face a darker subject. A culinary heresy that plagues the modern aisle of the grocery store. We are talking about the impasta. The false idols. The spiralized vegetables posing as divine starch. We are discussing the theology of the Zoodle, the metaphysics of the gluten-free, and why, deep down, your soul craves the wheat, the whole wheat, and nothing but the wheat. So, loosen your belts. It's time to carb load on wisdom. To understand the false noodle, we must first understand the true noodle. Consider the wheat stalk. It stands tall, swaying in the breeze, much like a pirate on a gently rocking ship. It is the antenna of the earth, receiving signals from the flying spaghetti monster himself. When this wheat is harvested, ground into semolina, and mixed with water, a miracle occurs. We call it the binding. Scientifically, you might call it gluten development. Theologically, we call it the elasticity of faith. Gluten is the spiritual glue of the universe. It is what allows the noodle to stretch without breaking, a metaphor for the Pastafarian spirit in the face of a low-carb society. Without this elasticity, we are merely crumbs in the breadbasket of oblivion. The true noodle offers resistance to the tooth, the al dente state. It fights back, just a little. It says, I am here. I am substance. I am not a vegetable. There is a profound comfort in a bowl of spaghetti. It is a tangled mess, much like our lives, yet delicious. It teaches us that even when things are knotted and chaotic, if you apply enough marinara, everything will be alright. This is the Semolina Soul. It is dense. It is real. It is the anchor in a world of dietary drift. But where there is light, there must be shadow. Where there is starch, there is the squash. Enter the Zoodle. The zucchini noodle. The impasta. Let us be frank. To take a zucchini, a perfectly respectable vegetable in its own right, and force it through a spiralizer is not culinary innovation, it is geometric violence. It is an attempt to deceive the palate and the soul. The Zoodle claims to be pasta. It mimics the shape. It curls. It twirls. But it is a lie. You cannot fool the stomach, my friends. The stomach knows. You eat a bowl of Zoodles, and 20 minutes later, you are filled with a specific kind of emptiness, a watery regret. The Zoodle has no bite. It has no al dente. It merely surrenders to the sauce, weeping its vegetable tears until your bolognese becomes a soup of sorrow. The flying spaghetti monster created the vegetable to be a side dish, perhaps a garnish. To elevate the vegetable to the status of the noodle is to disrupt the cosmic hierarchy. It is the Atkins heresy. It suggests that the noodly appendage is made of fiber and water, rather than holy carbohydrates. Do not be led astray by the green spirals of deceit. They are but water masquerading as substance. Now, we must tread carefully, with compassion. For there are those among us who cannot partake in the gluten. Their bodies reject the holy binding. This is not a sin, it is a tragedy. It is the celiac schism. To these poor souls, we offer our deepest sympathies. They are forced to wander the gluten-free purgatory, seeking solace in noodles made of rice, corn, or, heaven forbid, chickpeas. The texture of the gluten-free noodle is a test of faith. It is often gummy, or conversely, chalky. It dissolves too quickly, like a New Year's resolution. But we do not judge the gluten-free Pastafarian. Their devotion is perhaps the strongest of all. To worship the FSM while eating pasta made of red lentils requires a fortitude that most of us will never know. They eat the impasta not out of vanity, like the Zoodle eaters, but out of necessity. And so, the FSM extends his noodly appendage to them as well. For it is not the gluten in the dough that saves us, but the gluten in our hearts. However, if you can eat gluten, and you choose not to because an influencer told you that wheat is toxic, may your sauce forever slide off your pasta, leaving you with dry, naked noodles. That is the curse of the fad eater. Let us return to the true path. The geometry of the noodle. Have you ever contemplated why there are so many shapes? It is because the divine comes in many forms. Consider the rigatoni. A tube. A vessel. It reminds us to be open, to allow the sauce of life to fill our hollow spaces. Consider the farfalle. The bow tie. It reminds us that dinner is a formal occasion, even if you are eating in your underwear. And the fusilli. The spiral. Not the chaotic spiral of the Zoodle, but the structured, tight corkscrew of the Semolina. It is the DNA of the dinner table. This is the concept of sauceability. A Zoodle is slippery, it has no friction. But real pasta has texture. Roughness. It grasps the sauce. This teaches us a vital lesson: we must have rough edges to hold on to the good things in life. If we are too polished, too perfect, the joy slides right off us. We must be a little rough, a little floury, a little al dente, so that love, and pesto, can cling to us. It is time for our Pastafarian History Minute. Today we look back to the year 1492. While Columbus was busy getting lost, a far more important voyage was taking place in the cellars of a monastery in Parma. The Great Strainer Schism. Friar Alfredo the Thick believed that pasta water should be fully drained, leaving the noodles dry before saucing. However, his rival, Sister Marinara of the Basil, argued that a ladle of starchy pasta water was essential for the emulsion of the sauce. The debate raged for 3 days. Flour was thrown. Insults were hurled. Finally, they consulted the texts. They found that the friction between the dry noodle and the wet sauce created disharmony. Sister Marinara was right. The starchy water was the bridge between solid and liquid. This historic truce is why your carbonara is creamy today. We thank Sister Marinara for her wisdom, and Friar Alfredo, well, he invented a heavy cream sauce to compensate for his lack of emulsion skills. A delicious failure, nonetheless. And now, to cleanse our palates of the Zoodle thoughts, we turn to the stove. Today's recipe is the Agnostic Aglio e Olio. It is simple, because sometimes, you don't need a complex theology, you just need garlic. Step 1, boil your water. Salt it until it tastes like the tears of a flat earther. Step 2, add your spaghetti. Do not break the noodles. Breaking noodles is a sign of a broken home. Push them down gently as they soften. Step 3, in a pan, pour a generous amount of olive oil. Enough to make a cardiologist nervous. Step 4, slice garlic thin. Razor thin. Like the margin of error in a pirate's navigation. Sauté it gently. Do not burn it. Burnt garlic is the flavor of purgatory. Step 5, add red pepper flakes. Just a pinch of hellfire. Step 6, transfer the pasta directly to the oil. Hear that sizzle? That is the sound of angels singing. Add a splash of that holy pasta water. Step 7, toss. Agitate. Emulsify. Finish with parsley, because we need something green to prove we are healthy. Eat this at midnight. Eat this in silence. It is the taste of pure, unadulterated truth. So, my friends, do not be deceived by the impasta. The world will try to sell you vegetable noodles. It will try to tell you that cauliflower can be pizza crust. It will lie to you. Stand firm in your starch. Embrace the gluten, or the gluten-free alternative if you must, but reject the false shape. Remember that life is too short for watery zucchini. Let us bow our heads, or put on our colanders, for the closing prayer. O great carbohydrate in the sky! Hallowed be thy grain. Thy kingdom come, thy sauce be yum. On the plate as it is in the pot. Give us this day our daily garlic bread. And forgive us our diets. As we forgive those who eat kale chips against us. Let us not into low-carb temptation. But deliver us from the Zoodle. For thine is the meatball, the pesto, and the parmesan. Forever and ever. Thank you for watching. If this video nourished your spirit, please smash that subscribe button like a clove of garlic under the flat side of a knife. Ring the bell to be notified when the water is boiling. Until next time, keep your water salty and your sauce clinging. May you be touched by His Noodly Appendage. Ramen.